Here we have beautiful C++ written by Guy Davidson and Kate Gregory, and Guy is today with us. It is still a very popular book and a very good book about C++, and Guy joins us now. As he's unmuted, that's perfect. Guy, what do you have to say?
Thank you, and thank you for having me here. Yes, so beautiful C++, as Jens says, it's still selling well. The book came out at the end of 2021. Kate and I wrote it during the pandemic. The book is actually derived from a talk that Kate gave at CPPCon in 2000 I should know this now, shouldn't I? 2017, I think it was, where she described 10 of the core guidelines that were, really useful. That would immediately deliver some value to your program. You start following these guidelines, your coding will become better. That was the principle of her talk. And it was a very successful talk. It's very well watched. You can find it on CPPCon. Just search for Kate Gregory on CPPCon on their YouTube channel. And the idea of turning it into a book was, several publishers had approached her and said, "Oh, you should make this into a book. This would be great." Now, the core guidelines that we're covering are very much, they're not necessarily the best core guidelines, but they're the ones that will deliver value to your code most quickly. If you haven't heard of the core guidelines, first of all, you should look them up. So Herb Sutter and Björn Strustrup decided that the standard describes what is legal in C++, but that's not enough. What we also need to know is what is moral in C++. And the C++ core guidelines, and there's about 300 of them, describe lots of these moral issues in C++. Don't mix implementation with your interface. Don't leak your abstractions. Don't use global variables, or don't use mutable global state, that kind of thing. And Kate and I decided on 30 that we'd write about, that we thought, yes, we can do this. We can crystallize some really useful stuff in under 100,000 words. The text is it's about 92,000 words in total, the text. And we released this at the end of 21. As it happens, I ended up writing I ended up writing all of the text, actually, because Kate's life sort of overwhelmed her at the time. And it still remains something I'm extraordinarily proud of. You can work your way through these. There are 30 core guidelines. They're each written as individual blog posts of about 3,000 words. So it's the kind of thing that you can dip into and decide to read during a particularly long build or something like that. And without spoiling it, there's an awful lot of stories and tales of my time as a programmer. I've been writing code since 1980, which is quite a long time. And it's full of stories that I've, absurd things that have happened to me, over the past, 40 plus years of programming. It does astonish me how well it's sold and how many people decide to buy it and read it. And I find that quite flattering and humbling. And I'm working on another text now called the Game Developer's Guide to Learning C++, which I'm hoping to have out in time for the C++ 26 standard. If it sells half as well as this one, I'll be delighted. And I think that's all I have to say. I'll be in here below. I will answer any questions